Good morning. 16 years ago today, a great tragedy struck our country with the largest terror attack in our history. And I would like to take a brief moment of silence in remembrance of the victims and the first responders from September 11th, 2001. Thank you. As Aditya said, we are all truly fortunate to be a part of this community. And with that good fortune comes a duty to support each other and work hard to make ourselves in this community the best we can be in preparation for a lifetime of service and leadership. You are here to become a leader. Today, I am honored to introduce Dr. Alana Trotter, Prairie School class of 2006. Here at Prairie, she was an excellent student, a state champion, and the Racine County Basketball Player of the Year. Dr. Trotter has dedicated her life to helping others on both a personal scale, as a physician working one-on-one with patients, and on a global scale with her website, drgoals.com. Dr. Goals is dedicated to helping aspiring students navigate the difficult process of becoming a medical doctor. It is a great resource, and I hope all of you who aspire to medical school will visit it soon. We stand here today at the beginning of a school year with a world of opportunities in front of us. And at times, we will struggle. But together, by supporting each other, we will succeed. In her senior yearbook, Dr. Trotter gave us all great advice. Quote, "Fall 7 times, stand up 8. All of our lives have up and downs, and Dr. Trotter's is no exception. But she has persevered, as you will persevere. And it is my pleasure to welcome her home to Prairie. Dr. Trotter, thank you for being with us today."
Before I get started, I just wanted to thank Dr. Kaufman for this opportunity. And of course, Mrs. Bennis, raise your hand so I can see you. Mrs. Bennis has known me and my older brother and my younger brother since I was literally one of you guys. So she's just been an amazing teacher, influencer, and friend to myself and also my family, so thank you. So I was really excited when I got the phone call from Dr. Kaufman saying, "Hey, Dr. Trotter, I'm still getting used to that. We want you to come and talk." And I was telling my friend, and I was like, what am I going to say? I think I'm going to tell some stories, but she reminded me, Alana, you have 15 minutes, not the whole day. And one of the most dangerous things you can do is give me a microphone, so I'll try to keep it short, but I do hope in our short time together that you'll be able to at least gather one thing in our short time together today. So it wasn't too long ago that I was in your shoes, sitting on the bleachers. Somebody else was in my shoes talking to you. School is starting. They're saying, work hard, dream big, believe in yourself. And somehow life has moved on, it's ticked away, and just a little over 10 years later, here I stand in front of you. The last time I was here was 2006 at my graduation. To me, this arena is still new. When I played basketball, they luckily had it done in time for my senior year, so I was lucky to play my last year here. But for you guys, this is kind of old news, but this arena is still beautiful for me. So at that time in 2006, graduation, I was excited, I was nervous, and I was curious. I was excited because here I am, moments away from stepping into adulthood, starting a new chapter. But I was nervous because here I am, starting a new chapter into adulthood. And I was also curious because, as I've said, I've actually been here since I was a little munchkin. And so I don't know if you guys still use the term lifer, but my older brother Lex and I, we were lifers. So here I am, growing up in Prairie, wondering, what is outside of Prairie? There's a lot outside of Prairie, but what is it? What's going to happen? And at that time, I had accepted a scholarship to play Division I basketball at Ohio University in the MAC Conference. And let's add a little fun to it. So I decided to be a pre-med student. I knew by the end of high school that I wanted to go to medical school. Now, anybody who knows my family, they weren't surprised when I said I wanted to go to medical school to become a doctor, because my parents are doctors. My mom's parents were doctors. So of course, Alana, it's in your blood. But the reality is, growing up, I wanted to be anything but a doctor. I would wake up, my parents were gone. I would come home, my parents were gone. There were times we would go to the movie theater, go on a trip. My dad was paged, you gotta go back to the hospital. And oh, by the way, you still have to take exams after residency, it never really stops. So I thought my parents were crazy. And the thing is, they were so busy. The nice thing that came out of it, I actually got my first cell phone. Because in high school, I think I was 15. I played here, I played AAU, I was always playing basketball. And other sports as well, but basketball was my true love. And my parents were so busy that there were some times where they forgot to pick me up. There's 4 of us Trotter kids, we're all playing a sport. And even though I lived close to Prairie, I'd be sitting outside, everybody's waving, see you later, Alana. Okay, mom and dad still aren't here, so that's how I got a new cell phone. And now it's crazy for me, graduating in 2006, I'll help you guys do the math, I'm almost 38, it's weird for me to say that. But I am now part of the generation where I can say, remember when. Remember when there was a flip phone, that was my first phone. I actually had to delete text messages because I could only have about 40 on my phone, no snap. Remember when we had a VHS or the Nintendo when you would pull them out and blow on the bottom and hope it would work, but you're not doing anything for it. Man, times have changed already. But for me, one of the things, even though I said as a kid for many years I would be anything but a doctor, then life started happening and started pushing me back to medicine. And during my time here at Prairie as a high school student, I realized that sciences came natural to me. And studying actually wasn't a chore. Now imagine studying hours upon hours. I just came back from practice at Prairie. I have AAU training at 7 o'clock. I'm studying, and it's not a chore. Interesting. And of course, there were some other things that happened in my life in high school and college that solidified my decision of becoming a doctor. But one of the things that an AAU coach once told me, that if there's anything that you guys remember, especially if you're an athlete, you're not just an athlete, you are a student athlete. Because I remember my AAU coach telling me, Alana, what are you going to do after your final buzzer? Who are you going to be when you have to hang up your sneakers? Because it's going to come much sooner than you know. You're not just an athlete who averages 20 points a game, who's the player of the year, or is a part of the state championship team 2004. There's a picture somewhere, I gotta find it. But who will you be? You're a student athlete. So I studied hard in high school, I developed good study habits that translated over into college, and I worked hard. So I was ready to start out my new chapter as a pre-med student athlete, and to many it sounds impressive. so Alana's going to be a doctor. That's cool. But I met a lot of people who raised their eyebrow. And they would say, Alana, you can be an athlete. You can play at the Division I level. You can be a doctor, but you can't do both. Okay? Interesting. So what do you do? What do you do when you have a dream that's this tall, and you have people telling you all the reasons why you can't do it, followed by even more? Okay? And let's add a little bit more fun. After my freshman year, I wanted to put myself in the best position to get into medical school, so I transferred to uw-madison, and I gave up a guaranteed scholarship position, playing time at Ohio University, to be the 16th member as a walk-on at uw-madison, and I was told by the coach at the time, Alana, we welcome you to the team, but know that if we have to let somebody go, it's you. Pre-med, student athlete, just gave up a scholarship position. What in the world am I doing? But I had two big dreams and I wasn't ready to give those up. And I knew I could play at the Big Ten. I may be 5'8", but I can box out. The speed may have gone to my two younger brothers, they're also college athletes, but I can work at it. I can put the time in the gym, and so that's what I did. The interesting thing about life is that sometimes choosing the path of least resistance is tempting. It's easier. But in order for you to get to your end point, you have to choose the path of most resistance because it aligns with your dream. Now, in some shape or form, you know my end result. You know that I made it. I played Division I basketball. I got into medical school because you know I'm in residency. But that doesn't mean that it was easy, that it was a smooth sail. There were many, many times that I was questioning what in the world I was doing. My average day was I woke up early, went to classes all morning. By noon, I was at the Cole Center getting treatment on my knees. I had note cards out studying physics, chemistry, organic chemistry. We watched film, then I had practice from 1 to 4, then we had team meal. Then I either had lab or tutoring, and oh, by the way, it's 9 o'clock. I still haven't started my assignments, and I have to pack my bag because we go to Penn State the next day, then we go to Indiana, and then we have a home game. Don't forget that physics exam. Interesting. But the thing is, if you're really passionate about something, what seems hard will end up becoming natural. And whenever you face something that's really challenging, come up with a plan. My mom would often tell me, how do you eat a blue whale? Piece by piece. How do you get through medical school when you have to somehow get through textbooks and all these note cards? Piece by piece. You make a plan. You knock on doors. You guys, never be afraid to ask for help. That's one of the things that my mom instilled in me since I was a kid. You may knock on 10 doors and get frustrated, but you don't know if the 11th door is the person that's going to open up and say, Alana, come in, I can help you. And I know this other person that can help you. Never be afraid to ask for help. And of course, you're going to have to sacrifice along the way. Every summer, I always took a summer course in order to stay on track because I wanted to get into medical school. Chemistry, physics, labs. Was it fun? No, I wish I was outside. But I had two big dreams. And yes, I worked my tail off. I worked very, very hard. So by the time I had graduated from uw-madison in December 2016, I had been awarded an athletic scholarship. I was elected team captain. I was chosen out of all the Badger athletes, there's like 600 or 700, to be the speaker at the annual endowment luncheons where we thank the donors who donate to our scholarships. And for some reason they chose me. I was really nervous. Maybe that was preparation for this moment. I also graduated with honors, getting 2 majors, biology and African American studies. And I was accepted into medical school. Now, I'm not saying this to list off my resume to you guys or to just show off. I'm telling you these things because I really want to emphasize to you guys, never doubt what you're capable of. Don't be afraid to do something just because others wouldn't. Just because it's a path of most resistance, it doesn't mean it's not possible. And let's add a little more fun to the story. So about a year ago, I wanted to help out pre-med students. I wanted to let pre-med students, medical students, residents know that even though this training to become a doctor is hard, it's overwhelming, it's stressful, but I hear you. Here are some tools of the trade, here's some strategies, here's what helped me. This is what I wish I knew, and let's come together and build a movement. So I created a small company, but then I also happened to be in residency where I'm on call a lot. The point of me saying all this, again, is not to just say, I'm doing all these things that sounds great, but whenever you have a big dream, you know, they always say, work hard, believe in yourself. But one thing that I've seen in my 29 years of life thus far is that you can have 99 people tell you that you cannot do something, followed by all the reasons why you're not going to accomplish it. But all you need is that one person to say, I think you can do it. It's going to be hard, but I think we can come up with a plan. Let's figure out who we need to ask, who can help us, and let's give it a shot. And sometimes that one person is just you, and many times it was me. But my thing is, it may be hard, but if you try and you don't succeed, you're in the same position you're in but didn't even try. But imagine if you succeeded. Oftentimes when I talk to pre-med students, even now in residency, I'm on call tomorrow. Last year I did my first CPR at 3 a.m. in the ED. I've been seeing a lot of trauma in the ED. It's overwhelming, it's a lot. But if you take things in pieces, if you ask the right people, and you work hard, I know it's tiring, I know you're exhausted, but imagine your finish line. And if that makes you smile, then you're on the right track. So in closing, I've always been a quote junkie. You know, it helps when you're studying 12, 14 hours a day in medical school. You're stressed, you're overwhelmed, because for the first time, you may actually fail. When you're used to getting A's and B's, or now in residency, where I carry a pager that I purposefully left in my car so it wouldn't go off during my speech today, that the pager just goes off on and on. You have so much to do, and sometimes you just don't know if you made the right decision, or if it's really worth it in the end. But think of all those before you who succeeded, all the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, everybody else who's successful. Of course, first names are athletes, but this quote that I just want to leave you guys with really speaks to me. It did as an athlete, as a medical student, and now as a resident. And I know it's going to carry on with me as I start my practice in ophthalmology. And this quote was said by Anthony Grants. The vision of a champion is someone who's bent over, drenched in sweat at the point of exhaustion when no one else is watching. I want to wish each and every of you guys the best of luck, you know, especially shout out to all the seniors who are moments away from starting that new chapter in your life. Thank you again to Dr. Hoffman and Mrs. Bennis for this amazing opportunity to come back and to kind of walk down memory lane a little bit, but best of luck to you guys, and thank you.